Hi everyone, my name is Cheryl and this is my Happy Handcraft Studio. Welcome. So lots has been going on over the last couple of weeks. Anyone who's followed my channel knows that I've been preparing for a huge charity event, Bags, Babies and Beyond, and it was a success, and I'll tell you more about that later. So with all the prep for the sale and the cleanup afterwards, I haven't had as much stitching, but I've been focusing on getting some things done. So I'll show you what I have accomplished. So in this episode, I'll be showing you my stitching. I have a movie review as part of my stitching, and I have a little bit of sewing to show, and at the end I'll show you some of the things that I purchased at the sale and show you some pictures of our sale, and I also have a book review for you. So I hope you enjoy those parts. So first thing is stitching, and I completed Mona. I fully finished Mona. So this is Mona. And I told you last time that I'd found the perfect frame at Value Village, and I love it. I think she looks just great. This is in the book called the Mr. X Stitch Guide to Cross Stitch. I used the DMC that was called for, and I used the called for floss for the DMC. And so now Mona can go on to my bookshelf, my gallery. So really happy that that is completed. I also mentioned last time that I want to get things done. I want not a clean slate, but a simplified slate of projects going into the new year. And lots of people, lots of FlossTubers I hear are saying the same thing. I know I just watched Jessie Marie does stuff, and she's talking about how many projects can she get completed by the end of the year. Okay, so I'll show you two more things that I've completed that I'm so happy about. One of my all-time favorite cross-stitch patterns is completed, and that is Dancer by Barbara Anna Designs. This was in Punch Needle Primitive Stitching magazine, and it was in the 2021 Christmas Winter edition. I used the called for DMC, and it's on 32 count charcoal Lugana, and I love it. It is just such a lovely piece. It just, you know, like it stitched itself. I'll say it that way. All right, and then my next finish was Whoo. So I finished Whoo recently. So this set goes together. It is by Misty Purcell at Luminous Fiber Arts. I used the called for DMC, and this is on a 16 count platinum Zweigart. So now, will I be able to get it completed by Halloween? I hope so. Now, because I finished that, I have the pattern that I'm going to be giving away. So if you are interested in receiving this pattern, write boo in the comments. And remember, you must be 18 years old so that I can legally ask for your address. Don't use any of the words like giveaway or prize. So I'll be looking for the word boo. All right, I've been really working on getting projects completed, and there is a Instagram account at Devoted Quilter, Leanne. She has Whips Begone 2022, and I'm working on getting my whips completed. And so I had a huge list. So I've finished Dancer, I've finished Whoo, and I've fully finished Mona. So now I'm also working on Noble Companions, and it's getting really close. I'm currently working just on the back stitch for this project. So this is from an old 1991 Leisure Arts book called Christmas Portraits. This is on an unknown oatmeal linen, and I'm using the called for DMC. Really hoping this one will be all ready for the Christmas season as well. All right, so then I have the ones that I'm working on regularly. This is Temperature Library. It's by Christie's Corner on Etsy. Unknown linen. And I chose my own colors for this. We have been having the most amazing fall. If you look at the colors, it's the same as what we've had June, July, August. It has just been amazing. Beautiful fall, a fall like no one has ever remembered. But it looks like it's going to be more of a normal fall within the next week. So still really warm during the day, but getting cooler at night, which is wonderful. We like that. And then my queen stitch, the stitch I'm doing to remember the queen. This is the Queen Elizabeth II in her coronation dress by Teresa Gill. It's on a 28 count vintage blue cashel, and I'm using the called for DMC. So I've been working 70 stitches a day, except for the days where I wasn't home during our charity event. So that one is coming along. I'm going to continue to do the 70 stitches a day for as long as I can. And then on the 6th of the month, I'm going to put a little bit more. It was on the 6th, February the 6th, I believe, that the Queen became queen, where her father passed away. All right, now my focus pieces. So Noble Companions was one of my semi-sane focus pieces for Choose My Whip. So that was chosen, so I had to get 500 stitches in for that. This week, it's Squirrel. And Squirrel is again by Mr. Cross Stitch in his book. It's on a 14 count ivory Zweigart with the called for DMC. And each of these blocks is about a little over 100 stitches, so I'd really like to get this one done. I also have this for my Colorado cross stitch to be done by the end of October. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's okay. It will have a lot of good progress. So again, that's Squirrel by Mr. Cross Stitch. I've also put a few stitches into Garden Sampler. This is a free pattern on the Hirschner's site. And I'm doing this one for Colorado Cross Stitcher Sampler Sal that goes, I think, until December. This is on an even weave 28 count tea-dyed Irish linen, and the DMC conversion that was on the site. This is for Sampler Camp 2022 at Colorado Cross Stitcher. So I hope to get more done on that one. And then finally, for my stitching, this is the Mini Bouquet Sal by Jeanette Douglas. And this is the October block. Each one of these will be completed individually. This is on a Charles Craft Even Weave 28 count tea-dyed, and I'm using the DMC conversion. So I really want to get this one done by the end of October, and that should be easy enough. These are lovely pieces to work on. My movie review. And I thought the movie review would work best here when we have people who like to do the fancy ladies. I went to Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, and it was just a lovely movie. It's about a widowed cleaning lady living in 1950s London, and she decides that she needs a Dior couture dress. And it's about her adventure to get this dress that she wants to have. Lovely. You know, it's just one of those feel-good movies. And if you like fancy ladies in pretty dresses, it's a great movie. Okay, now I am also working on a quilt project list. And so I'm working on my Dresden Reimagined table runner, which has become a wall hanging, Snowflake, and I Spy. I have those three, and I'm really close to getting the first one done, so I'll be showing you that next time. So some of you might have watched the special edition video I did for my Quilt Guild on using orphan blocks. So orphan blocks are blocks that are left over from a project that you're making, or it might be blocks you've inherited from someone. And so I'm working through my orphan blocks. And so I had several orphan blocks that were this bird pattern. And so this is a book cover that I've made. It has some lovely bird fabric in there. These slide onto the hardcover notebooks. So I hope to make some more of those. All right, so now I'll show you a few of my prized purchases from our Bags, Babies, and Beyond sale. First one is this lovely little vest that I'm wearing. I had my eye on it for the whole sale. And then finally, last hour of the sale, it was still there, so I purchased that. Love it. It's just the right amount of cozy. I also found these, they're coasters. I'll put them out here just so you can put a couple colors so you can see them. They were leaf-shaped coasters in these lovely fall colors, and I'm not sure if I'm just going to kind of spread them out with some of my fall things, or if I'm going to string them on to maybe a cord or jute rope or something and use them as a garland. They are just too lovely to pass by. I also went totally wild and bought something just for fun, and it was this handbag. Isn't that just the most lovely thing you've ever seen? I think the first day it snows I'm going to dress up and carry my bag. Beautiful gold finishing and a nice light interior, zipper pocket and slip pockets. So we make bags, we buy bags. that was another one that I had my eye on for the whole sale, and then at the end I purchased. So I figure I don't need anything, so I don't buy until the last hour. And I only regretted one thing. There was a beautiful shawl in sort of blues and greens and light purples that was beautiful. That one wasn't there at the end, so. But I know that next year there will be many more beautiful things. And then the last thing that I purchased is for another charity. So I work for a charity, I buy things at a charity, and then I give them to a charity. So we have a charity that we're supporting through our Quilt Guild, and it is for mothers who are having babies who are in extreme need. So different organizations come to this charity and tell them about moms that need things. And what they try to do is provide basically a layette, outfits for the first year of the baby's life, and other supplies too, you know, soothers and rattles and that sort of thing. And so I found some beautiful little hats and, you know, a little set, and then another little hat and blanket. So, you know, I got quite a few things that might read little girls, so when I make things, I'll try to be more gender neutral in what I prepare. I hope to make a few little quilts and some more burp cloths and that sort of thing. So a lovely squishy pile of wonderfulness there. All right, I have 2 books to talk about. The first one is called Cocktail Hour Under the Tree of Forgetfulness, and this is by Alexandra Fuller. Now, I learned about this book through the African Book Club that I belong to, and I listened to this book on audio, and it was great. It's funny, interesting, like you learn a lot about life in East Africa, and just really enjoyable. So this tells the story of the author's mother, Nicola Fuller, and her father, and it tells of their life trying to become landowners in East Africa, and it was a battle to become landowners. It's her second book after Don't Let's Go to the Dogs, which focuses on the author's memories of growing up in Rhodesia. It is hilarious. So if you look at the book cover, to tell you a little bit about the family dynamics, the mother had Susie, who's a monkey, look after Alexandra when she was little. So, and then the second book, this is for the readers who just love reading, for the people who are in book clubs, and it's called The Reading List, and it's by Sarah Nisha Adams. It takes place in Wembley, which is a suburban town in London, and it's about Mukesh. He's a retired Indian immigrant, and he is really feeling lost since he lost his wife. He finds one of her library books that wasn't returned, and he remembers how his wife loved reading and read all the time and read with her granddaughter, and he reads the book, The Time Traveler's Wife, to feel closer to her. And by reading that book, he does feel closer to his wife, and he decides to return the book to the library and get new books. And when he's there, he meets a very reluctant library helper, Alicia, who is dealing with her own struggles and wants book recommendations. And at first, she doesn't have any, and it's not a good first meeting. But Alicia finds a reading list in a book that's left behind. And they Mukesh comes back and Alicia has her list, and together they read this. They read the books on the list. And it's wonderful. It's a really wonderful, feel-good book. I had 2 books that I was going to recommend to my book club, and this was one of them, and the other one I'll talk about next time. And they decided this is the one because we all felt we needed a pick-me-up. We needed to feel good about people and reading. All right, everyone. I have a question for my readers this time. Since you've hung on this long, if you were going to recommend a book to someone who's going through maybe something difficult in their life, what book would you recommend that they read? And I'll think about it and tell you my answer next time as well. And Judy, I will put these books and their authors in the description that's down below. So in the description down below, I have all my patterns listed that I'm working on in cross stitch and any other patterns that I might use. And I'll list my book descriptions. All right. Thank you, everyone. I see you next time. Bye-bye.